Hey, welcome to another episode. You are with the ladies of BOA, Broads of Attraction. I am Naja,
Jewel, hey.
and we are here with another one of our amazing movies to review. Again, this is the Child Rewind with an Adult Mind, where Jewel and we like to go back and review movies from the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s,
Sure.
movies that we haven't seen since we were kids or since we were teenagers, and we go back and try to give our adult perspective of the movie. Jules?
Yes. So this week, if there's a movie you guys would like us to review,
Yes,
our email.
absolutely. Our email is inboxboa@gmail.com. Again, it's inboxboa@gmail.com. If you guys have movies that you want us to kind of review or want us to go over, rewatch, you want to watch them with us, feel free to send your suggestions to inboxboa@gmail.com.
Hell yeah. High five.
High five.
All right. So
Let's
this
get
week,
into it.
let's do it. This week we're going to do Boomerang, the 1992 movie starring Eddie Murphy, where he plays
Yes.
like this successful dog player kind of dude who is faced with some different opportunities during the movie.
I like how you said successful dog. I never looked at it like that, but yes,
Dog.
he was a successful dog. Yes.
Let's kick it off with our facts.
Yeah.
I know. It's your part.
So this is your first time here. Welcome. What Jewel does every week is she kicks off with some fun facts about the movie.
Our fun facts with a fact on Miss Lady Eloise, Eartha Kitt. Eartha Kitt.
Okay.
Beautiful, legendary Eartha Kitt. I was very excited to see her in
Legendary.
the movie. Legendary because she was one of the first women of color to be a sex symbol. I don't know if you know. I'm a huge Batman fan. I love
I know that.
Yes,
and I knew that was coming.
Yes,
I knew that reference was coming.
Yes. So Eartha Kitt played the first Black biracial, however you want to say it, Catwoman. She was but what's powerful about that is that she was this sexy Black woman in skin tight leather in the late 1960s, which was unheard of. She replaced a white woman who was the original Catwoman.
That's a big deal to be, Catwoman in the 60s, to be a Black Catwoman in the 60s. And Batman was such a huge deal, during those times. So they could have casted anybody. That's a huge deal. I do want to say that
because she was so popular at the time, like that she was.
And that's interesting because my first meeting of Eartha Kitt was this movie.
Related to that, she was Catwoman. Halle Berry was also Catwoman. Which was trash. She was trash ass Catwoman.
You know what? Now that I didn't put those two together. Eartha Kitt was Catwoman, and you're right. Halle Berry later played Catwoman, but she was why was she the trash Catwoman?
It just was not good. She just wasn't good. She just wasn't that good. Speaking of Halle Berry, that takes us to the next fun fact that she was the only one to apply or audition for her role as Angela because Eddie Murphy liked her so much. Eddie Murphy, another producer, liked her so much.
So she was the only one to. You saying that she auditioned and nobody else had to?
No one else. Yeah, no one else had to. Yeah. So as soon as she auditioned, they shut it down and gave her the role.
Wow. And she was up and coming too and super gorgeous. So I'm sure they was like, this is a no-brainer. She was in another movie before that. I don't know if it was before or after. The one Strictly Business. That might have been around the same time. She had the same haircut. I don't know if that was right before or right after. It was definitely close.
Was that with Damon Wayans?
No, it was with Tommy Davidson.
With Tommy Davidson?
Tommy Davidson. Yeah, Strictly Business. It was with Tommy Davidson. And classic movie. We'll definitely be watching that on this podcast. It's a classic movie.
I hope so. Tommy Davidson, I don't know, but
okay.
Are you really?
Yes, he was so funny on Martin. My favorite Martin episode of all time includes Tommy Davidson.
Another fact, or fun fact, the studio did not want to hire Robin Givens at the time because she had a bad public image.
That's interesting. That's interesting because that's very interesting you say that. What was her bad public image? She did Playboy, right?
Well, no, I don't know if she did Playboy or not, but the public image was her being a gold digger because of the whole Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know Mike Tyson was.
Thing was there was no prenup when he married when they got married, so everyone just you know, that she's pretty and everyone's just like
Yeah.
this, you know, pretty black woman took all this poor man's money, you know.
Hmm.
Which no telling what mess she had to deal with dealing
It
with
was
Mike
Mike
Tyson.
Tyson.
But the producer, they thought that that image is what would make her even better in this role because yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. I understand that.
We have that it was the most expensive all black cast produced at the time.
See that?
They
I
made it
can
for
see
40
that.
million. They made it for 40 million and they brought in 130 million.
Wow. Wow. So the movie did very well because I know it's a classic, but so
Yeah.
the movie did well. It was a box
It
office
did way
hit.
better than they expected it to. Great cast. The scene with John Witherspoon and Eddie Murphy where they're talking about his suit,
Yeah.
his outfit. They said the whole thing was ad lib, and they made it after the movie. And Eddie Murphy insisted that they get that part together for the movie.
That was an ad lib, the part where they was talking about the
the
mushrooms and the
you got to coordinate.
That was that was a classic ass line. Like that line took off. Coordinate. People are still saying that to this day. That was improv.
Yeah, they said it was all improv. He chose his own outfit and they improv the whole thing. Brings us to all the fun facts for this time. I do have Stomp Naja.
Okay, I now see. I'm gonna get it. This is a black ensemble cast. I got it. I know the answer.
Okay.
And
okay.
Okay.
I got you. Okay, so so I'm going to ask the question, a trivia question, and she's gonna think about it, and we're gonna get the answer from her later in the podcast. That sounds fair?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember the score?
I feel like I haven't gotten them since the first two that I got. So
this would be two out of 4.
Geez, yeah.
Something like that. Okay. So here's the question. I believe you'll get this one.
I got it.
Name the 80s sitcom starring Robin Givens.
Starring Robin Givens.
Yes.
She was starring in it.
She was one of the stars. She was one of the stars.
That's a good one. Robin Givens in the 80s sitcom.
Yeah, she was
I
one of the
see her
stars.
face too. I see her face.
This may help.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't know her name, but Richard Pryor's daughter was also on the show.
Oh, thank you. I got it now. I rated for this as a child. And I saw this when it came out. I feel like I might have saw this at the movies, to be honest, as a kid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I feel like my rating for this was as a kid. I mean, I liked it as a kid. Yeah. My rating was probably like a 4.
Okay. That's pretty high.
Yeah, I liked it as a kid. I liked this movie.
So you liked it because what?
I liked it because as a kid, my first experience with this movie was Eddie Murphy was in it. Huge Eddie Murphy fan, even as a kid. I've always liked everything that Eddie Murphy does. For sure. I thought that Martin was so funny in it. I was in love with Martin from Def Jam, so I thought he was funny. David Allen Greer, coming off of In Living Color and other stuff. Yeah. So they were just funny to me. They were a bunch of funny guys. And I thought that Halle Berry was gorgeous. I thought Robin Givens was pretty. I thought Chris Rock was funny. So I thought everybody in the movie was funny. So I just liked it as a kid. And I thought that it was just a cool movie. And I liked it. I didn't understand when I was watching a whole lot. I just thought that this dog finally getting played by this pretty girl. And then he ends up with a nice girl. Like that was my only thought for it as a kid. But I liked it. I just remember liking it.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. I don't think I saw it as a kid, to be honest. I think because of the sexual content, it would have been completely off limits at my house.
Your parents did the right thing.
Yeah, like
my parents were.
Completely.
I'm at the movies watching it.
But that's the thing, though. I think that's cool that you got to see it at the movies. Like for sure, I think that's.
I have older siblings, so I got drugged wherever they went.
So let's get into the adult stuff. All right, so you got
adult mind.
The adult mind. So the movie immediately starts letting us know that he is a dog. It's playing like the P-Funk's Atomic Dog. Like the very first thing we hear is that this is a movie. What does it say? This is a song about a famous
This is a song
dog?
About a dog.
Yeah. Which is like, okay, let's go. What's happening next? So
yeah.
So in the beginning, I think it did a pretty good job of setting up that Marcus is a dog, a womanizer. Everybody seems to know.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to be okay with this, and that's that.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody's okay with him being a dog, and even his friends are like challenging him, and his friends are like, how long is it taking you to hit this and that? And like his friends are
Yeah.
into the fact that he's like the ladies' man. They're egging him on.
Let me just say this
Gorgeous.
about the women in this movie. They were like 90s fine. Like these were the
Yeah.
women that you like all the boys in school, like all the, your uncles, your grand, like all the
Yeah.
men, like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they look, and watching this movie, I literally can see why, because they were gorgeous.
Beautiful. And I'm
Gorgeous.
glad you pointed that out because I was looking at the leading lady, Robin Givens, and then Halle Berry, and then Layla Rochelle. Like all of them, like you said, even Tisha Campbell, was
Tisha
in it.
Campbell, yeah.
They were all beautiful, but it wasn't like a typical 1980s. You know how they used to cast black
Yeah.
women with the frizzy hair,
Yeah.
the light skin frizzy hair type mix. I feel like, I'm not mad at the lead that they gave Robin Givens. I'm not mad at that, but I felt like they were beautiful, like you said, in the 90s, black 90s,
Yeah.
corporate, beautiful black women type of way. All of them was girl. The women were so beautiful. And the way that they introduced Layla Rashard into the first scene, her
Yeah.
walking the dog and hair blowing, and she
Yeah.
was bad. Like she was so pretty. She was one of the prettiest ones, if not in that movie. The way that she was gorgeous.
She
I
was
love how they set
gorgeous
her
in
up.
both her scenes in that white, and then when she goes
Yes.
to his house and she's in that
Yes.
all pink, I was like,
Beautiful.
yes,
Yes.
girl.
With the French roll, with the hair up.
Girl with her French roll, and she had her little
Yeah.
pink heels on, and her little moon something. She was
Yeah.
gorgeous. Girl, she
Remove
looked
something.
90s fine. She looked
90s
90s
fine.
fine. Yes,
90s fine. So
for sure. The guys didn't look bad either. Like Eddie Murphy, I've never been like that attracted to Eddie Murphy, but I thought he looked really handsome. I thought he looked real slick, and I could see women wanting to be with him.
So I wanted to talk about that. You're bringing up all the points that I wanted to talk about because I never seen Eddie Murphy in this type of role as a handsome guy. I was a huge Eddie Murphy fan even as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going all the way back to 48 Hours, Trading Places, Coming to America, Beverly Hills Cop. I'm seeing him in all these movies, Golden Child. Now here we come in the 90s and they got Eddie Murphy playing like a handsome, but it works. You know what I'm saying? It worked.
It did good. It looked so. Anyway, we're skimming back. So let's get back to the story. So, you're right. So he meets Robin Givens, who is gorgeous, and he tells her, "You are the most gorgeous thing I have ever seen," and she laughs in his face.
She does.
Yeah.
It's like, you are the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen. You're like telling her how fine she is. Yeah, she laughed in his face. Like, okay, what if I told you that you're the most handsome thing? Like she mocked him, and he was like, "What?" Immediately, he didn't get the reaction he was expecting, and that goes to show you off the top the dynamic of their relationship, what it's about to be like.
I'm gonna just point out, you know how I feel about coworker relationship. This movie is another reason why. Look, that scene where Straw J was like, she said you could really move your ass or whatever. I'm like,
you're getting ahead.
I am, but I was like, this is exactly why I don't sleep with coworkers, because that scene would have went differently.
We are getting to that. That was so great.
I just couldn't believe it. I was so upset. I was so
Jacqueline
upset.
Said, you could shake your ass. Jacqueline said, I loved her so much. God, I loved her so much.
Grace Jones was great. Okay, so we are getting ahead. So to go back, so he meets Robin Givens, Jacqueline. He finds out she is the new boss.
Yes.
They go to a party some kind of way, and he is also introduced to the beautiful Halle Berry.
Yes, gorgeous.
And he's just like, nah.
Not paying her any attention.
Yeah.
Not paying her any attention. He's just like, and she's gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? But when you got your heart set on one person, all the beautiful women in the world does not matter, because Halle Berry was just pretty, but she was still innocent, and nice and innocent, and just she didn't have that swag that Jacqueline had. You know what I'm saying?
Just to talk about Angela's character, she is a little bit more wholesome when she's talking to his boy, David Aligre, Gerard.
Yeah.
So he tried to hook them up. They go on a date, and their date seemed really like trash. It seemed like it seemed like nothing got accomplished on it.
It was awkward. Well, they didn't even eat because they couldn't figure out what was for dinner. So yeah, it was a very awkward day because she's, again, gorgeous and beautiful, but she's still kind of shy and timid, and she's not super aggressive and sexual. He's the one that's, I should say, is shy and timid. He's like really, really don't know how to act around women. He's awkward, clearly socially awkward. So yeah, that date was not going to go anywhere because no one was going to be the aggressor. So. That was an
It was
odd
kind
couple.
of a good idea and I don't know if it was intentional or it was a good idea to hook these two up because of the pair Martin, David Allegrier, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Gerard's character was the more wholesome. He had more respect or more respectable in terms of women.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was a good idea to hook them
It
up, but for
was.
some reason it just, like you said, she
Because
is passive, he is awkward.
they
It just
like the bad boys. The good girls like the bad boys. A good girl don't want another good guy. It's just it doesn't work that way. You
okay.
know, it's
See, that's an
unfortunate.
interesting perspective because
Yeah.
I mean, the whole time I was watching this movie and then I see Angela, she's slick. She's like, I don't like like she's talking to Jacqueline. So what's up with you and Marcus, or what's
Yeah.
happening with Mark? You know what I'm saying? So she's
Yeah.
inserting herself like little bits in time.
She
It's
was.
yeah,
She
so
was. She did the same thing with Marcus too, you know, inserting herself in their business. So that's what I'm saying. She was always kind of trying to put herself in their business. That's why I said I thought she was always a little bit intrigued and always had a little crush on him in some kind of way because she was always inserting herself in their business or
yeah.
trying to insert herself in their business and then say, oh, well, I'm just saying, you know, I'm
Yeah,
just
but
saying.
I didn't care for Angela. I don't know if I've said that, but I
No,
didn't
you
like her.
didn't.
Yo,
That's
no.
a big deal.
Oh, I didn't care for her. Let me make sure everybody know. I didn't care for her
Big deal. I didn't know
because
that.
yeah,
I
well,
didn't know that.
I watched the movie twice to give her a
Everybody was
second
rooting for
chance.
her.
To give her a second. You were what?
No, everybody was rooting for her. Like
Why?
because she was the nice, wholesome one.
No.
Jacqueline was the
Let me
bad
tell you
guy,
this.
which I want to go over, but go ahead.
No, let me tell you this. I felt like, why would you be with him? Like, we know his reputation.
Yes. Yes.
We don't know for sure, but he may have slept with Lady Eloise because, you know, you don't know at
It's a
work.
rumor. We do
You know
not
what I'm
know
saying?
that. That
It's
is
a
a rumor.
rumor. So, but it's a believable rumor. You know
Yes,
what I
it
mean?
is. Yeah.
For sure, we know he's messing with Jacqueline. And for sure, we know that is a really weird, awkward situation between the two
Yes.
of them. Why
Yes.
am I inserting myself into that? Like, why would I want to be with you? I've already talked to his boy. That didn't work
Yeah.
out. Why am I still like, why are you still pursuing him?
I love that you brought this up. I love so much that you brought this up
Yes.
because I'm gonna go back to my child mind for a second. Growing up, Jacqueline was the bad person in this movie growing up.
Okay.
And Angela was the sweet girl. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just watching it, you know, but as I watched it as an adult and I paid attention to everything, Jacqueline really didn't do anything bad in this movie. I mean, in the end, it was a little bit wrong that she went back and she knew he was kind of with Angela, and we'll get to that. But Jacqueline really didn't do anything bad in this movie. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't.
Besides being, you know, a badass, besides being, you know, slick, using, you know, his own game against him.
Girl living
She really
life.
didn't do anything bad.
She just was living life.
And I'm gonna get to that too. Please remind me to talk about that because I was blown away by her whole character. I was blown away.
Yeah.
But
no,
she wasn't a bad person. It really might have been Angela who really was the bad person. Which as a kid I didn't know, but as an adult, you're right. You know this guy's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
He already been with this Angela. I mean, Jacqueline, not your friend, but that's your coworker. You already talked to.
Is she your boss? She might be your boss. Not that you know
boss.
your boss is better than you, but like it's your
But you
boss.
know he ain't shit.
Job.
You know Marcus ain't shit. You know he slept with your boss. You dated his friend. You know he got a reputation, but yet you did insert yourself in this relationship. You know what I'm saying? Then got mad when he didn't come home that night. So Angela is kind of, I can see why you don't care for her, especially watching this movie as an adult where you using your adult mind. I can see why you don't care for her. That's very interesting.
I'm using my adult mind. Like, what are you doing, girl? Even because I didn't think she was malicious. I didn't get that kind of vibe. I thought she was maybe naive or a little bit
naive.
Yeah,
naive.
maybe a little bit. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
That's why I said. That's why I said that his reputation preceded him and that she always wanted him all along. Mm-hmm. The infamous Marcus Graham. I think that just having Marcus Graham, trust me, I've been there. I've been there. Okay, as an adult, I've been there.
I get it.
You know somebody ain't shit, but the simple fact that you got him in your presence and they want you, you got this ain't shit guy, but they want you right now, this very moment, you're gonna go for it.
And they're attractive. Like he's not a bad catch. It's not like
very handsome. Very, very charming, you know.
He's charming. Not just handsome, he's charming. He's funny. You know what I mean? It's like, so I get it, but still, girl, like, chill.
He slept with Lady Eloise as a rumor. We don't know that, but he slept with Lady Eloise. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he's still kind of chasing after. Oh no, they have their first date. Jacqueline and Marcus have their first date. She comes over and they're having the salmon, and she's giving him like the "I'm not interested. I'm just really here to you invited me" type vibe. And then she wants to take the salmon and she watched the game. Here's my question.
Yes.
My entire life, I always thought that she did everything she did on purpose. The way she treated him was on purpose. The way she was at his house, the way I thought that she did everything on purpose. Like she was purposely trying to be this way because she knew what kind of person he was. She was trying to teach him a lesson. But as an adult, I didn't get that. I think that she really was just didn't give a fuck. That whole Knicks thing where I want to go watch the game and this and I was blown away. I
think she didn't give a fuck. Yes, I agree.
As a kid, I thought she was doing it on purpose, and that's why it's so important to watch these movies as an adult. I thought she was trying to be like on purpose. She was trying to dog him because she knew he was a dog. But as an adult, I was like, no, this isn't on purpose. She really don't give a fuck. She's really here to eat salmon and watch the Bulls game. She really like, yo, don't get serious. Like she was for real.
Man. She was for real.
He met somebody that was just like him. You know what I'm saying? And so that brings me to the fact of why I was blown away by her, because I'm like, did I see this movie as a kid and then date men the rest of my life like this? Because I read from the book of Jacqueline. Her relationship approach is how I've approached every single guy I've dated.
That's interesting. That's crazy.
That's why I was blown away, because it's that sex appeal. Because like I said, I don't get told I'm pretty. I've gotten told I'm sexy. I don't never hear pretty.
Girl,
I hear
so sexy. Oh,
you and I talked about that. The difference between
we talk about it a lot.
Yeah. So I've gotten told sexy, not pretty, and then I've gotten told like I don't know. Like I've always gotten told that I think like a man. Like just I don't know. Like the way she just wasn't pressed. The way that she was just like, yo, I'll get at you when I can. Like, I've approached most of my relationships like that. And whether I really feel that way or not, because some of it is just me putting up walls so that I won't get hurt. I will admit that. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely have approached.
Letting it out. Yes, girl.
I'm just saying, a lot of our relationships, down to her leaving him $200 on the table.
That was insane.
I've done that.
Girl.
That hasn't been $200. But I've left a nigga a tip. Like, I've left a nigga money like, yo, I'll cover this because I did that. I was late. You know what I'm saying?
Girl, you know I loved it. You know when he was waiting by that phone and she was like,
girl.
He couldn't wait to answer that phone. It's me. I'm here. But he got this phone.
He was pissed. He was like,
girl,
that's 3 weeks away. He was so mad.
Girl, it was 3 weeks away. Then she showed up late. She didn't even show up for it. She actually didn't show up for it.
She never showed up.
She said, "You want your little $200?" And she sure left his little $200.
Yo, I loved her. And she showed up in her panties, rocked this nigga world. Done that. Showed up in her panties, rocked this nigga world.
Yes, girl. When we talk about that. At the dinner, and Strange is like, let me get some of that now. And he felt disrespected.
Which I felt was interesting too. Like he genuinely felt disrespected because she was telling everybody that he could fuck. Which again, I thought she was doing that on purpose, but she really was just telling people the way that he was telling his boys. Yeah. She was genuinely telling her girls like, yo, I can confirm that this nigga can fuck. Like that's crazy. How did I miss that as a kid? Yo, like
well,
that's
you weren't
crazy.
Supposed to get it.
What I'm saying. That's why we do this podcast. That's why this podcast is necessary to rewatch shit as an adult.
Again, that's where it changed. So now Marcus is hanging out with Angela, who
they broke
supposed
up.
To be dating his friend. So what do you think about that? Do you think he overstepped? Do you think that was too much?
I mean, as a kid, yes, but as an adult, I mean, you and her.
As an adult.
Okay, as an adult and who I am now, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, y'all went on a date or so, but y'all know, you know, nothing was happening with you and that girl. Like, this is me as Marcus. Like, you know, first of all, I hooked you up with her. I introduced you to her. Okay, so I got dibs. Second of all, you knew
you don't get dibs. You don't
I
get
got
dibs.
dibs.
You do
I
not
got
get
dibs.
dibs. No. But you get you don't get dibs. No.
Okay. You didn't know. You didn't. Okay. It was a little bit wrong for you to hook me up with somebody and then sleep with her later. Yes, that was kind of wrong. You gonna hook me up with a motherfucker, then sleep with her later. But you know what not gonna happen with you and Angela. Come on.
Right. That's the bottom line though. You tried and it did not work out.
Yeah. And that's fine. You tried.
Yeah. And that's okay. And that's okay. That just means you guys were not meant to be or whatever.
Well, he was so square. You know what I'm saying?
I love David Allen Greer. I think he is so funny. He is so funny to me.
He's good.
Chocolate News, was that it? I think that was his show called.
No, he wasn't. Was he Chocolate News?
He had a show on Comedy Central. He had a comedy sketch show.
Chocolate News was what was the other guy name? I thought he was Chocolate News. I forgot his name. He plays on Blackish. I thought he was Chocolate News.
Anthony Anderson?
His friend on Blackish.
Oh, Dion Cole.
Yeah,
his name is.
Yeah, I thought he was Chocolate News.
He might have been on there with him, but David Allen Greer, I'm sure it was.
Okay.
I think. Next thing we know, her art is in his house.
Girl. Okay, yeah, so that was his house. Okay, because I thought
that's the thing too. I'm like, whose house is this? But I'm assuming it was his house.
Yeah, because he called. Jacqueline called, and it was his house. Yeah.
Yeah, and she answered the phone, and I was like, "Why is she answering the phone?"
She answered his phone because he was meeting. They was a couple, damn near.
I want to say, but at the very end, they made reference to her moving in with him. So I'm like, is that what they mean, that she lived there? Because I was like, he's nice for letting her have her art studio up in here.
I think she lived there. Yeah, you're right. At the end, he was like, go get the stuff. She was like, no, I'm not moving in this time. And I don't think they really highlighted how serious their relationship got in that point. Either. Yeah, it just showed they made out one day, and you can kind of tell the dynamic changed when she premiered the Sharon J commercial or whatever. And they had a little business meeting, and that's when Jacqueline picked up that they were screwing around, and I could tell Jacqueline got a little jealous.
You think so? Okay, I didn't notice that. Okay,
you had to notice it. It was blatant. It was a part of the movie when they were in that corporate meeting. They showed her the video, and them two were giggling. Jacqueline turned around and she looked at them, and she gave them this look. You're like, oh, so these two are messing around. So she knew that they were messing around. Here comes
your purpose then, when she purposely at this point.
That's when she purposely was like, okay, I think at the end she got a little envious that he was with, because she knew they were together and she still tried to sleep with him at the end. So she was wrong for that. But
and they did sleep together, right? They did. Similar, close to it.
They did. No, they did. They did, and she tried again later, and he told her no. But yeah, they slept together again.
So then, is that when he crept in the bed with Halle Berry?
Sorry, my phone. Yeah, that's when he crept in the bed after he had Jacqueline already.
That's
it's actually at the point where Jacqueline calls the house to tell them, hey, we've got this meeting. And he takes the phone and he says, oh, yeah, that was Angela. She was just stopping by for a minute. Yeah. And it's like, no, nigga, I live here. You know what I'm saying?
That's why that's important, but they never set that up.
Yeah, they
never
did
set that up.
Angela made a face. Like they panned the camera and she made a face, but she didn't address it. She was like, oh, okay, I see how this is. But she let it go. She was like, you know what? That was some bullshit. I'm gonna let it go. And that same fucking night, his ass come home at 3 a.m. And then that's when
she was sleeping a little bit too comfortable. I don't know anybody who would have heard that, know where he's going.
She was up. She wasn't asleep. She was up.
She was pretending.
He came in. She just didn't smack his ass the next day, but she was just trying to keep her cool. Because remember, she's the nice, wholesome one. Remember,
girl.
So they did a good. I know you hated her. But they did a good job of writing her character because she was who she was. She didn't check him on the spot and say, no, nigga, I live here. This morning, he wakes up.
The next morning.
She's like, she's still being nice. Hey, must have been a big night. You didn't come home to the middle of the night. He's like, I had to clear my head. Oh, God, I cringed when he said that.
Did you? Yeah. He was like, you can't control everything. Everything can't be controlled.
Yeah. Some things you can't control, like love. I just cringed at his speech because that speech is still used to this day. Like I don't know, it just was whack.
Shut up.
But shut up. Well, when he said he was out walking because he had to clear his mind, like I just really was about to lose it. I was gonna throw the TV out the window when he said that.
Girl, now you full. And what she say? What she say to this nigga?
He said, you know,
she was like,
motherfuckers talking about love.
Think you know about love.
You know, what do you know about love? You know, I'm sick and tired of niggas talking about love. Love should have brought your ass home last night. F98 WJLB, you play Sean Song.
Hey, but that's real. Love should have brought you home.
Yes. Love should have brought you home.
This is when it changed too. You're right. I'm glad you point that out because she did like stop being a nice person. She cussed him out. Yes. She leaves the job. She gets another job. And when you see her, she got promoted. And the little art that she had, you know, is now on the side of the bus. But you see her talking to her.
She's the art director.
She's art. So, but you see her talking to her employees, and she's a little bit more Jacqueline like talking to her employees.
Exactly. She's a boss now, but she feels scorned now. She's harder, you know, she's hardcore, she's a little meaner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So and she's executive level at the same time. Does executive level automatically make you bitchy or bossy? Or she definitely changed.
That's a good point. That's a good point out. Yeah.
Yeah. She definitely changed. She went from being sweet and wholesome. Even her hairstyle changed. You see how they changed her hair a little bit?
A little bit longer.
Yeah, a little bit longer. Her arms are out now. Like just even her wardrobe, like they changed her personality, which I actually thought was dope that they changed her personality to this because now she's executive level and now she's harder, she's bossier, she's told you what to do. Yeah, exactly. She's like Jacqueline now. You know what I'm saying? But we need to discuss how he did go back to Jacqueline at some point. He did. After she got rid of him, you know, smacked him and said, "Love should have brought your ass home." He did end up back in Jacqueline's bed. Do you remember that?
No, hold on, because you know how I get with these movies. So
he goes back to Jacqueline.
Okay, and then what?
Her and her size A cups, and he realizes they're about to have sex, and he says, "Stop! I can't do this." And she says, "Why?" He's like, "I'm in love with somebody else." And she's like, "Oh, so you think you're in love with Angela now?" And he says, "I am in love with Angela. At this very moment, I realize I'm in love with that woman." And she says, "If you're in love with Angela, then why are you here with me?" And he stops and he says, "Exactly." And he walks away from her. So that was him getting his revenge on her after the way she treated him the entire movie.
That's fair.
He still got his revenge on her because it ended with him leaving her. And in the end, even though all that they did, he's still trying to give him some ass, and he turned her down. He ended up telling her no.
Yeah,
so that was kind of
what happens in those types of situations. Eventually, the person is like, "I'm not." Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my guard up.
Yeah. So, that's it. So he goes. He brings these kids in, and
this is the kids.
Yeah, and now they are together.
They end up together. So he ended up taking him back. So he ends up with Angela at the end. One thing I want to say is I think that the movie did a great job of, and again, I'm talking as the 10-year-old or whatever, however the young kids saying this. The movie did a great job of setting it up so that you would not think that they'll end up together. Like eventually you'll see that they may end up together, but you didn't think he was going to end up with her in the movie because he didn't pay her any attention. Most of the movie, he didn't pay her any attention. Yeah, you didn't see it coming. But then in the end, he ends up with her. You just did not see that. So I thought they did a great job.
That's a good point. Because I thought he was going to end up with Jacqueline going in. I thought they both were going to change and be like this dynamic couple together. But no, that did not happen.
I thought that they set that up beautifully. The way that she was in the movie, she was important. We got a chance to know her. We got a chance to know her personality. They kept her out of it enough for it to be a twist at the end that he ended up with her. So I thought that was dope.
I mean, that's still to me, that kind of takes away from the movie in a large sense because I don't think they plotted it out good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think the whole Angela Marcus thing was developed well enough for me to root for them as a couple because I understand
that. I understand that. Yeah, because they did not. They rushed their relationship in the movie. They didn't develop it at all. It was like they had that one night together, and then next thing you know, they show her painting blue people, and she lives in this house now. You know what I'm saying? So,
and it wasn't even clear she lived there. You know, and it was not 100% clear that this was her residence, that she was there, and that they booed up, and you have stuff, you know. But her living there was never clear. We're at the end of it. What is your review? What are you going to give it?
Okay, so as a kid, I gave it a 4. I mean, I liked it as a kid. I did.
Mm-hmm.
As an adult, after watching it, you know how I review.
Yes.
Take myself back to the 90s. The clothing store and the white man was racial
Yeah.
profile. You know what I'm saying? You know, I feel like some of those things are still happening, you know, in 2020. So that's why I said I feel like a lot of movies did age well. And then watching it as an adult, learning more about Jacqueline, learning that she was not doing this on purpose. This was just her personality, made me fall in love with her even more. Seeing the difference between Jacqueline and Angela, seeing the dynamic between him and all his homeboys. I absolutely loved Martin in this movie. I don't know his name in the movie, but of course.
Oh, I got
love Martin.
His name in this movie is
something
Tyler.
wrong with the Twizzard. Yes, Martin.
Twizzard, yeah, Twizzard
so
was
childish.
Good.
So
976 DICK was great too.
Wonder was he low? Whatever. But I when I was watching this movie as an adult, I was picking up on things. I was like, oh, that's what that means. Oh, wow, this is cool. This is that. The women, like you highlighted, were gorgeous, were beautiful.
Yes.
But very well casted. Everybody did a great job. I feel like it was well written. It wasn't boring. You know, I feel like it was just perfect. It was a good movie. And as an adult, you know, I will give it a 5 as an adult.
Are you gonna give it a 5?
I really liked it watching it again.
Girl,
if I give it a 4 as a kid, I gotta give it a 5 as an adult because I enjoyed watching it.
Okay, that's exciting.
That's your turn. I'm so nervous.
Don't be nervous.
I'm nervous.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
You liked it.
I liked it a lot. It didn't feel dated to me. It felt.
That's what I'm saying. It aged well.
It did age well. There's some things that's kind of, you know, a little bit.
Of course.
Like the whole thing with the older thing. I think that might not necessarily be as big of a thing now. But
it's still great to watch.
Yeah, it was still great to watch. But I think there were a lot of great parts. We didn't talk about any of the comedy. Like there was some hilarious parts when Chris Rock was like, "You think Malcolm X died for you to look like a chump?" You know what I mean? Like there was some awesome parts.
I love Chris Rock. I wanted to say
awesome in this movie.
I wanted to say when you and I did the New Jack City review, you told me that Martin auditioned for Chris Rock's part in New Jack City. So I was thinking, I wonder if Chris Rock audition for Martin's part in Boomerang. You know what I'm saying?
That'd have been too different though.
Martin could have been Boney T. Martin could have easily been Boney T.
Yeah, but I think Chris Rock just because he's so small, I think he looks so much younger than them.
They casted it well. They did it better. Of course they did it well. But I just always wondered that. But yeah.
Yeah, but look, so my review, this is tough.
I'm nervous.
This is tough. So I gave it with a child mind, I gave it a 3. As an adult, I'm actually gonna give it a 4.
Okay.
Which I think is good. And I'm giving it a 4 because how timeless it looks, how beautiful the cast is. It was casted so well. It was hilarious. It's still funny. There's so many greats, there's so many great people in this movie, and there are some plot issues that gave me trouble, like their relationship thing that just did not come together well. But we talked briefly about Tisha Campbell. Even Tisha Campbell being there, like letting us also know this nigga is a dog. I live next door to him. Yes, this is what he do.
Yeah, but I thought that was dope that she was the crazy neighbor. Like that just goes to show that he slept with everybody in his friend, everybody around him, and co-workers, neighbors. You know, a lady just walking her dog, he's gonna beat.
He gonna
beat Marcus.
Well, I'm not even gonna say what John Witherspoon will say. He's like, you need to reverse it.
Can I just say, who wrote? Oh, that line is so genius. Like this nigga say, "Don't be pussy whip. You need to reverse it and whip that pussy." Who thought of that? Like who thought of that? Don't be pussy whip. Reverse it and that's crazy. Like
it is crazy. It's great.
That's
great.
So, I love great writing. It's
great. This movie is great. Yeah, this movie is great. So, with that, do you have anything else you want to add? So this is one we would recommend for you guys to rewatch.
Please rewatch this movie and tell us what you think. If you haven't seen it since you were a child, or even if you just want to give your feedback on it, please reach out to us, inboxboa@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about the movie. Let us know what you think about the characters. And Jacqueline, if you can identify with any of the characters in the movie, who was your character? Because in every movie, you got to identify with a character.
Yeah.
And you gotta latch on to somebody in every movie. So let us know who you identify with in that movie.
Good. Yes. Yes. So I guess we're gonna wrap it up, girl.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up because we both losing light.
I know.
It's night where I am now.
It's night here too, but I don't know what I like kicked the cord. So
That's all good. All right. So again, make sure if you enjoyed this, please again let us know what characters you identify with, and then also if you have any kind of movies or any 80s, 90s, early 2000 movies that you haven't seen since you were a kid, you want to watch it with us, let us know. inboxvoa@gmail.com.
Absolutely.
And hopefully it's something that we could, kind of go over and we'll talk about it together.
Yeah. So like, follow, subscribe. Tell my girl how sexy she is. Hey. Hey, sexy. Hey.
Talk about sexy versus pretty. That is a big deal. You and I have always had the discussion because you always get called pretty. And I said, I don't get called pretty. I never get called pretty.
You're so pretty, girl.
I don't get told that. Guys don't call me pretty. And remember we had that argument in DC and I was like, I'd rather get called pretty than sexy. He was like, I'd rather get called sexy. We had that big fight in DC.
I'd rather be sexy, for sure.
And I want to get called pretty. Sexiness goes away. Prettiness is forever. I feel like.
No, I would say the opposite.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever dated a guy and he was like, you're just so pretty. And when I hear it, I feel like he's trolling. It's a weird feeling I get when I get called pretty. I know it's weird. When I get called sexy, I believe it. When I get called pretty, I feel like he's just saying it because he feels like he should. It is sad.
No, well, you are pretty and sexy.
Shut your mouth.
You're pretty and sexy. And that's the end of the show.
We'll see you guys. Inbox us, comment, and subscribe. Is that right? Did I say that right?
I think so. Something like that.
Like, comment, subscribe, and send us a message about what movie we should do next. Peace.
All right. Peace.